The biggest standing ovation of the night came when You Knew Who introduced the widow of a fallen Navy SEAL. Take a look.
We are blessed to be joined tonight by Corinne Owens, the widow of U.S. Navy Special Operator, Senior Chief William Ryan Owens. I just spoke to our great General Mattis just now, who reconfirmed that, and I quote, Ryan was a part of a highly successful raid that generated large amounts of vital intelligence that will lead to many more victories in the future against our enemy. Ryan's legacy is etched into eternity.
Now, just hours before before the speech, he blamed U.S. generals for Ryan's death, saying, and I quote, "They lost Ryan. That mission could, that mission could not have happened without presidential approval," which is why Obama never gave the go-ahead, because he felt that it wasn't good enough to send our people in. So, was this a tribute or was this damage control? I mean,
it was something that really struck me about the night, because as all of you know, my brother that I grew up with, my cousin, was injured in the Army. He's been to the show. And the military.
Brother or your cousin?
We were raised
He's
as
like
siblings.
a brother. I met
we were
him.
raised, you've met him.
Yeah,
and he lost his hand and he lost his face serving our country. And so many of my family members are in the military. I thought that was so exploitive. I thought he exploited that widow. It was so hurtful to me, because we know that U.S. military officials have said to the press that Obama didn't give the green light because he felt that the mission would mark a significant escalation in Yemen, and that President Trump, without the intel, without the appropriate ground support, approved this at dinner while not in the Situation Room and was tweeting. So when I look at that, I think, my God, how do you exploit the woman who is grieving over the loss of her husband, the father of her children, when you sent him there without the appropriate ground support? That was wrong.
Also, the intelligence that they got. It's been very heavily disputed whether the intelligence they got was even helpful at all. I mean, he's saying there was an active intelligence. Other people are saying the intelligence, they really didn't get anything out of it. But the truth is, for me, it's very simple. When you're the commander-in-chief, the buck stops with you.
Yeah.
And you don't get to, I don't care, where you involve people, you are responsible. Your generals, everybody reports to you ultimately. So what he should have said is, this is my fault. I owe you an apology.
Yeah.
And that's what would have made the
blame it on Hillary
difference.
Clinton.
Well, that's the
Benghazi.
thing.
How long did we hear about Benghazi?
But in the same way, right? Like, everyone made that argument about Benghazi, and I made the same argument. The buck stops with President Obama. Whoever is the commander-in-chief, you are the leader of those forces, of those armed forces, of those generals.
But he likes to blame everybody.
But he doesn't get to do it when it comes to the military.
His widow was there, but his dad had refused to meet with anyone. So if you genuinely felt heartfelt, I think you'd say, I'm not going to do more damage to this family by letting it not be talked about.
His
And
father,
I think that would have been
the SEAL's father would not meet with the president.
That
The
says
SEAL's
something.
father is calling for an investigation. And I just want to say this about, it's calling for an investigation, and we need to have an investigation. In terms of Obama accepting responsibility for Benghazi, he said, I'm the president and I'm always responsible.
That's what I'm saying.
He said
100%. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the president has to do that. I agree with you, though, about this concept of politicians using people as political props. I hate that. I hated it last night. I hated it even when President Obama signed the health care law in, and whenever politicians want to push something through, they surround themselves with people. Oh, this person's been through this, and this person's been through that. Don't do that. Don't use. For me, it's all. I don't like people being used as props to propose an agenda or an idea or back up what you've done wrong or haven't done wrong. They're people.
You don't use a fallen hero.
Except sometimes, as with the Sandy Hook parents, it's important to put a face on
Yes.
I don't
things.
like that either.
But when you have a Republican Congress that basically said that these parents were doing this for publicity.
Not the parents ever. I never blame the family.
No. But I'm saying, when you have people making those kinds of statements, you want people to take a look at these parents and see no parent does this stuff for publicity.
No, I agree with
Nobody
you.
puts
Never.
their public grief out. It's just unbelievable. And